Welcome to our next lesson on solving two-step equations. In this lesson, we're going to solve two-step equations algebraically without a model by using our two golden rules. And those two golden rules, again, are to use inverse operations or opposite operations. And whatever you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other side. We need to keep these equations balanced. So this time we're going to look at the two-step equation 4x minus 3 equals 21. Remember that our goal is to solve for x. That means that we need to get x on the left-hand side by itself. We need to get rid of the minus 3 and the 4 in order to solve for x. So that means that I have two numbers that I need to work on getting rid of. So you might say again, which number do I work on first? Which number do I want to get rid of first? And if you remember from our model, we got rid of the constant first. You want to get rid of this number first because it's not associated with the variable. So I'm going to bring down the left-hand side of this equation, which is 4x minus 3. And I'm going to draw a line, which basically means I'm going to leave a blank. And I'm going to bring down the right-hand side as well. And I'm going to draw another blank. And the reason I'm doing this is because I know that I need to do something to both sides of the equation. And I need to do something to get rid of minus 3. So I'm going to ask myself, what is the opposite of minus 3? Because I know that I need to use opposite operations. The opposite of minus 3 is to add 3. So if I add 3 to both sides of the equation to keep it balanced, then I will be able to eliminate this 3 from the left-hand side. And now we're going to say, well, what's left on the left-hand side? We have 4x left. And now think of this as negative 3. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. It's eliminated. And on the right-hand side, I have 21 plus 3, which is 24. So that is step number 1 of the two-step equation. We added 3 to both sides of the equation. Now I'm down to a one-step equation. So now I'm going to ask myself, this says 4 times x. What is the inverse operation of multiply? The inverse operation is to divide. So I'm going to divide by 4 on both sides of the equation. I know that 4 divided by 4 is 1, and that's how I end up with just 1x. And 24 divided by 4 is 6. So I end up with an answer of x equals 6. And dividing by 4 on both sides of the equation is step number 2. And that's why we call these two-step equations. But again, my goal was to isolate the variable on one side of the equation. And I had to do this by using inverse operations and making sure that whatever I do to one side of the equation, I do to the other side. Now, it's very important that once you solve the equation, that you check your answer, because you want to make sure that you didn't make any errors and that this truly is the solution. So in order to justify or check your solution, you want to start with the original equation, 4x minus 3 equals 21. And then we want to substitute 6 for x, because we said that x is equal to 6. And remember, this means 4 times 6. So I'm going to use parentheses to separate the 4 and the 6. And when I don't use a symbol between the 4 and the parentheses, that means to multiply. So 4 times 6 minus 3 should equal 21. I know that 4 times 6 is 24, and if I bring down the rest of the problem, 24 minus 3 is 21. And since 21 is equal to 21, I know that my answer is correct. So I've justified my answer and proven that the two steps did indeed solve this problem.